President Donald Trump, Week in Review, April 5, 2025. Coyotes are smuggling migrants out of the United States. A rising number of illegal migrants are self-deporting from the U.S. to avoid harsh government deportation penalties, opting for return packages offered by coyotes, per journalist Alfredo Corchado at a Council on Foreign Relations event. These smuggling packages, costing up to $10,000, help migrants return to countries like Honduras or Costa Rica, bypassing detention and 10-year re-entry bans. Alabama businessman Jeff Lamore said Haitians that are losing Biden-era work permits under Trump's policies are fueling a multimillion-dollar smuggling industry, with some selling assets like cars to fund escapes or hide. South of the border, northbound migrants are also turning back homewards as migration through the Darien Gap has also declined.
DOJ cleared to dismantle USAID. On March 28, a Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals panel lifted a lower court's injunction, allowing Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, to resume efforts to dismantle the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. The ruling, split in reasoning, supported the Trump administration's push to dissolve USAID, with a State Department notice and DOJ memo announcing mass job cuts by July 1 or September 2. Judge Quattlebaum upheld Musk's role as a presidential advisor, not an unconstitutional actor, while Judge Gregory dissented on constitutional grounds but agreed the injunction was misdirected. The decision advances Trump's priority to cut foreign aid, though further appeals loom.
Israel eliminates tariffs on U.S. On March 31, Israel announced the elimination of all tariffs on U.S. imports, preempting President Trump's Liberation Day reciprocal tariff announcement. Directed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli officials, the move cancels duties on U.S. goods, Israel's top trading partner. Building on the 1985 U.S.-Israel Free Trade Agreement, where 99% of U.S. imports were already duty-free, the policy targets food and agricultural products to lower living costs and boost competition. Netanyahu hailed it as a step to strengthen economic ties and strategic alliances with the U.S.
Trump deports 100,000. Since President Donald Trump's second term began in January 2025, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has arrested 113,000 individuals and deported over 100,000. This follows Trump's campaign promise to address illegal immigration, bolstered by a Pew survey showing 32% of Americans support deporting all illegal aliens and 51% favor deporting some. ICE has maximized detention capacity, requesting more funding from Congress after 32,000 arrests in Trump's first 50 days. The administration is also pushing the Supreme Court to allow deportations of gang members under the Alien Enemies Act, despite judicial setbacks, targeting groups like Tren de Aragua and MS-13 to enhance public safety.
Democrats sue to prevent election security. The Democratic National Committee, alongside Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, filed a lawsuit in D.C. federal court against President Trump to block his March 25 executive order that mandates proof of U.S. citizenship for voting, bans counting mail-in ballots received after Election Day, and threatens to withhold federal funds from non-compliant states. The lawsuit, led by Democratic election lawyer Mark Elias, argues Trump overstepped his authority, claiming the changes illegally threaten to disenfranchise lawful voters and disrupt voting processes.
Proof FBI spiked authenticity of Hunter's laptop. On October 14, 2020, when the New York Post published a story on Hunter Biden's laptop revealing Biden family corruption, the FBI, despite possessing the laptop, refused to confirm its authenticity to big tech. The agency had preemptively labeled it Russian disinformation before publication, a narrative it continued to maintain post-release. An FBI analyst attempted to tell Twitter the laptop was real but was silenced by superiors. Newly obtained internal FBI chat logs, previously withheld, show orders to "do not discuss Biden matter," confirming the FBI deliberately concealed its possession of the laptop and an ongoing investigation, as detailed by a committee last year.
Protests, Islam out of Europe. Protests have erupted across Europe, notably in Spain and France, against perceived Islamization threatening Christian values. In Spain, "Spain is Christian, not Muslim" has become a viral rallying cry against jihadism and mass immigration, with patriots invoking the Reconquista on social media like X. In France, Lyon protesters chanted "Islam out of Europe," demanding stricter immigration to safeguard heritage amid rising insecurity. Poland has seen crowds praying the rosary to preserve culture. Social media reflects fears of a self-genocide of Western society via incompatible theocratic influences, and these movements, growing in 2025, signal a push to tighten immigration policies against a progressive tide.
Voter fraud discovered. In mid-March, Republican-led states Iowa, Idaho, and Missouri uncovered nearly 300,000 problematic voter registrations in 6 days. Missouri removed 19,000 deceased voters, 134,000 inactive ones, and over 4,000 who moved or were disqualified, that is, felons, on March 14. Idaho cleared 144,000 records for inactivity, address changes, or ineligibility on March 19. Iowa identified and removed 277 confirmed non-citizens from its rolls on March 20. These findings highlight voter roll issues in red states, raising concerns about larger, bluer states where similar audits are unlikely due to Democratic resistance. The state-level approach underscores a broader national voting security challenge.
Title IX Special Investigations Team announced. Following fencer Stephanie Turner's tournament expulsion for refusing to compete against male trans fencer Redmond Sullivan, Education Secretary Linda McMahon and Attorney General Pam Bondi announced the creation of the Title IX Special Investigations Team. Comprising attorneys and investigators from the Departments of Education and Justice, the team aims to swiftly enforce Title IX, protecting female students and athletes. It targets concerns over men and women's sports and private spaces like restrooms and locker rooms, following numerous complaints. McMahon stressed the Trump administration's commitment to halting such violations by federally funded institutions, ensuring rapid action to safeguard women's rights and dignity in education.
Trump tariffs already working. President Trump unveiled a new trade policy in late March 2025, imposing a 10% universal tariff on all U.S. imports, plus higher reciprocal tariffs on countries with trade surpluses or reluctance to buy American goods. Many countries are already offering the U.S. concessions. Nations like Vietnam facing 50% tariffs, India, Israel, the EU, Japan, South Korea, and Thailand have responded with concessions, including tariff cuts, increased U.S. imports of LNG, energy, and military equipment. Israel already eliminated its U.S. tariffs, while Vietnam's leader and Netanyahu engaged Trump directly. Trump boasted that every country is now negotiating, crediting tariffs for giving the U.S. unprecedented leverage.